JonBenet Ramsey has now quit the case, accusing the Boulder DA of mishandling the investigation in favor of politics. We get that story from reporter Greg Lamott.
A former detective in the JonBenet Ramsey murder case wrote a blistering letter of resignation, attacking the district attorney and claiming, among other things, quote, "There is evidence critical to the investigation that, to this day, has never been collected, as well as other evidence that sits today untested in the laboratory." In a letter obtained by ABC, former Detective Steve Thomas claims prosecutors in the district attorney's office blocked efforts to subpoena the parents' telephone and credit card records and claims evidence was improperly shared with the Ramseys' attorneys. Thomas, in the letter, said his primary reason for leaving his job is the belief the district attorney's office continues to mishandle the Ramsey case. It's been more than a year and a half since JonBenet Ramsey was found strangled and beaten in the basement of her Boulder home. Early on, police said the 6-year-old girl's parents were a focus of the investigation, but no one has been arrested. Thomas, in his letter, said, quote, "It is my belief the district attorney's office has effectively crippled this case." In response, Police Chief Mark Beckner issued a statement saying, quote, "I am disappointed that Steve felt the need to vent his frustrations in the investigation." Beckner went on to say, "We continue to work closely with the DA's office on completing assigned tasks. I continue to have confidence in the investigative team." District Attorney Alex Hunter in July was expected to make a decision as to whether to present the case to a grand jury, but no decision has been announced. A spokesperson for Hunter says the district attorney is out of town until next week, and it's not known if he will respond to Thomas's letter of resignation. Greg Lamott.
Well, the bickering between the police and prosecutors in the JonBenet Ramsey murder case is becoming legendary, yet no arrests have been made in the case. Julie Hayden reports that some in Colorado think it's time the governor got involved.
Boulder Detective Steve Thomas said he was so upset about the way the Boulder DA's office is handling the JonBenet Ramsey murder case that he turned in his badge for a carpenter's hammer. Thomas was one of the lead detectives in the Ramsey case, and in a scathing resignation letter, he blasted Boulder DA Alex Hunter. Well, Thomas's message was heard loud and clear all the way to the governor's office.
The content of that letter was pretty direct and forceful.
Governor Romer explained that he has asked 4 metro area district attorneys to get together and give him advice and counsel on whether he should intervene and appoint a special prosecutor. He says he'll meet with them in person if they want or accept a letter of recommendation. And he hopes to have a decision in 5 to 7 days.
The issue now is, as you go forward, will you get a better and more just solution to this, maintaining the present leadership or changing that leadership?
Craig Silverman says he'd be surprised if the 4 local DAs recommend a special prosecutor, but he says it might help minimize the conflicts between the Boulder cops and the DA should the case ever go to trial.
Detective Thomas's letter was just the latest salvo in a long, increasingly hostile war between the police and the prosecutors. Any good defense attorney will try to exploit that at trial, but if you remove Alex Hunter as the prosecutor, the special prosecutor could say, "Hey, I had nothing to do with that."
And that was reporter Julie Hayden.